You don't spend money based on your goals. You spend based on your identity. Welcome to video 4 of 10 of this Spend Like You Mean It series. I'm Matt Scaletti. I love talking about money and books like The Millionaire Next Door, books like Money Master the Game, Tony Robbins, books like Set for Life by Scott Trench, Die with Zero. There's so many great financial books out there, podcasts. I love learning from all of them. And then I love bringing you, hopefully, some great content that'll help you out. You don't spend based on your goals, you spend based on your identity. It's interesting. I'll give you an example. If someone says that they value health, but you look at their spending and most of the spending is on convenience and junk food, it's not aligned. They have a goal to be healthy, but the actions and spending go the exact opposite direction. Guess who's guilty of it? Me. I tried this. I said I wanted to be healthier years ago. I was an alcoholic for 15 years almost, and this is in the middle of that. I said I wanted to be healthier. Here's what I did. If you looked at my bank statements, this would show it. I went to the liquor store and I bought organic wine. Guess what? 6 glasses of organic wine is not healthy. I wanted to be healthier, so I bought vodka and tonic water or fizzy water instead of vodka and Coke, whatever the mixes is. I've been so far out of the game, I don't even know what you mix stuff with anymore. Been sober almost 10 years now, but I was spending money based on my identity at the time. My goal was to get healthier. My identity, how I looked at myself in the mirror was I'm somebody who has to drink alcohol to be social. That's legitimately was my mindset. I believed that for so many years. It's hard to even still say that out loud. Sorry, I get emotional just thinking about it still. That's the loop I was in. And if you're in a similar loop with anything, any addiction, any issue, you can get out of this. I hope you ask for help because I did not do that. I was not strong enough to ask for help. I was too embarrassed. As a result, it took me longer to overcome this. But I was spending money based on who I saw in the mirror, who I was, my identity. My identity was I'm an alcoholic. I will find ways to lower the calories, which, by the way, didn't do that because I just drank more and then would order a pizza late at night. But that was my identity at the time. And my spending aligned with the identity. If you just looked at my spending and I said to you, my goal is to get healthier, you would have probably laughed and you'd have been like, then why is there a trip to the liquor store every third day? Why are you ordering from these pizza places 3 nights a week? The spending tells the story. And I didn't want to admit it at the time. I blamed for years anyone else but myself until I took full responsibility. Nothing would change. I'll shift gears here for a second and share a story about a buddy of mine. And a while back, he was telling me how much he enjoys spending time. Like we were talking about values and what we love to do. And it was an awesome conversation. It was right after a run. It was still remember, it was a great conversation. And he was telling me how much he enjoys spending time with friends and traveling with friends. Those were big values of his. That was a piece of his identity, which actually in reality, it was a goal of his. Because, excuse me, when we looked at his spending, almost none of it aligned with that. It was so eye-opening at the time because he told me how much he loved traveling with friends and going out. And he wasn't a drinker, but like they would go to trivia night and go out and grab some food here and there and do activities like go to baseball game, comedy show, movie, whatever. And he's looking at his spending, and almost none of it aligned with that. His goal was to see friends more and go on trips with them, but his spending shows the truth. He had not done that in over 3 years. And it was, as he was telling me, I mean, I couldn't help but look inside myself. I hope you're doing the same as I share that story and share my story. Is it a goal that you have? And is your spending aligning with it? Because if it's not, that can be a really frustrating thing, which is what I did myself. If I want to be healthier, but I'm drinking a lot, it's that push pull and it erodes at your self confidence and the trust that you have in you. We want to align both of those. It was amazing that he hadn't done it in 3 years and he was talking about it like they just went on a trip recently. As a result of this conversation, and him and I have had conversations since then, he aligned his spending with what his goals were. And I'll tell you another one, which was perfect. He would put it on the calendar. At the end of one year, he would already have on the calendar multiple trips with friends. And it wasn't like they had to fly to Europe for a trip. I mean, it could just be a day trip. It could just be a one night thing where you book an Airbnb and you drive somewhere. It could be a flight, but he had it on the calendar so that way the spending aligned with his identity and it aligned with what his goals were. The shift that I'm hoping that this video really just pounds into my head and your head is values are not what you say. Values are not what you say. They're what you fund. Values are not just what you say, they're what you fund. Show me your bank account, show me your calendar, I'll show you your life. I'm not saying you have to spend money to have friendships. Of course, that's not true. But money in a lot of cases does help, especially go out and do something, even if it's to grab coffee for $4 or go see a movie for it's expensive now. I think it's like $20, but whatever it is, it still shows and tells a story. Your bank account does, or credit card statement, etc. It tells a story of what you value. There it is right there. Values are not what you say or even the goals you have. It's what you fund. And here's the action and here's the takeaway that I hope really resonates. And as I'm saying this, just so everybody knows, I'm sharing this and hopefully teaching this and educating this for myself too. Like I watch these and I come up with the content and I need to follow through with a lot of these as well. So holding myself accountable. The action is compare your top 3 values versus your top 3 spending categories. And what I mean by that is if your top 3 values are health, relationships, and travel. Let's just say that's what it is. Health, relationships, and travel. And your spending, you can see on the statements, are a lot of junk food, mainly spending on yourself and not traveling. That's where the goals and the spending are misaligned. And the action is to figure out, at least write down your top 2 values and see if your spending aligns with the values that you have. At least the discretionary spending. And again, I'm saying this understanding that there's countless things you can do at no cost. You can go on a hike with friends and build friendships that way. Completely understand that. And also, I do think the spending does tell a big piece of the story. It doesn't tell the whole story. I'm with you. Plenty of things you can do that are of massive impact that do not show up on a bank statement. Plenty of things. You want to go volunteer. That's beautiful. That does not show up on a bank statement, right? That's a value. Volunteering is a value. That's not going to show up on a bank statement. That makes a ton of sense. And also, I think a lot of it with the goals and the values and the spending, a lot of it does align. And I ask you to The ones that don't align, that makes sense. That doesn't always need to be spending. But the ones that do, at least do the activities so that you can see if you have some congruency there. Never thought I'd throw congruency into a video. I hope that's a real, I know congruent is a word. Congruency? Anyways, just to make sure that there is alignment there. I'll use a word I actually know, that there is alignment there to make sure that the goals and the spending and the values are all wrapped together. I'm going to do this myself because I still think I'm misaligned in some areas, and it's something I'm continuously working on. Hope this helps you as we rock video 4 of 10 in the series Spend Like You Mean It. Please like and subscribe to the content. It helps out so much. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Slam me if you want to. Say something about how this doesn't make any sense or why you think differently or why you agree. I want to hear all of it. I welcome all of it. I read all of it. I want to keep making this content better for you moving forward. Next week, video 5, we're talking about the money beliefs that are running your life without you even knowing it. Stick around next week. Thank you again for watching or listening or both. Challenges build champions. We'll see you all next week.